Clarity and Conversations with Keisha and Tira. I'm Tira,
I'm Keisha.
and we're so excited that you're joining us today, everybody.
Yes, we are. Listen, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications where the bell is at so you can join the CCC community. We want you a part of the family. We want you to be a part of the
Yes,
community.
yes.
We said it last time, and so we're going to go do it today. There are a few of you guys who joined and subscribed to our YouTube page. Shout out to our new YouTube followers. That is K Claire 17, New Covenant Community Ministries. We are so grateful to have you guys in our Facebook group. Some of our newest, Cap Howard, Carlette Porter, Michelle. We are so excited that you guys have decided to join our CCC community. Keep it up. We love having you.
Yes, we are excited to have each and every one of you. Now, everybody who's on today, go ahead and grab your coffee, grab your tea, or whatever you want to drink on today because it is time for some coffee and clarity.
Come on, girl. Okay, you know it. This is the moment. Shameless plug. See, I don't think my mug got a good view, so I'm giving it today. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine and tell yours. This is my faith unleashes dangerous. Come on, that's a whole word. Like, don't
Okay,
mess with me. When I unleash my faith,
it's
ain't no
dangerous.
stopping me. You can
Okay.
find this on my website at KLLCO.com. That's KLLCco.com. Tier, tell me about that mug you have.
This is one of my favorites because it is my very own company's mug, the Manifold Innovations Company Corporation. You can get my mug if you would like to rock this mug. Y'all. This is a very cool mug, I must say. But anyway, one of my favorites. You can get it on my website www.tmicorp.org, and you just go to the shop and you can pick up your mug.
Okay, so what are we talking about today, girl? Let's get into it. Why don't you tell the people I'm excited?
Yes, we are talking about going from processing to prospering.
Mm,
Yes. So listen, I am so excited about this topic because number one, it is it it is something that I've walked through and I am
mhm,
continue it's a process and I'm continuing to walk through that, but it all started with me transforming my mind.
mm,
And so, so today I want us to start off with talking about transforming your mindset.
yeah.
And I've shared on my page a couple of times. I believe it was the week before last when I was talking about I got this revelation. And when you get a revelation, it means nothing unless you do some application. But
That's true.
it talks about if you can think it, then God can exceed it. If
Okay,
you
come on.
can
You got.
think it,
I was gonna say again. Go ahead.
if you can think it, then God can exceed it. And a lot of times, we quote the scripture, especially those who are faith based. You quote the scripture that talks about that He can do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think, according to the power that works in you. But so many times we can't even think it, like we're not even giving him anything to exceed because we have limited ourselves because our mindsets are so small. We think so small. We've been conditioned since we were children to limit our imagination. I don't know about you, but I know I've heard many adults who have said to children, they have these wild imaginations, and they may talk about the monster under the bed, or they
Mhm.
may talk about their imaginary friend and stuff like that, and and sometimes adults will say, stop thinking like that, stop, don't,
Yeah.
you know and you limit that. But I think what we need to do is, instead of limiting that, is to redirect it into the right manner, because I believe our imagination comes from God. I
Yeah.
believe that, the ability to think beyond what you can see. Okay, Hebrews
Come
11
on.
one. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. In order for me to have hope, I have to have some type of imagination because
Mhm.
I can't see it with my natural eye. But when I begin to apply my faith, then that thing that I've dreamed about, that thing that I've imagined, that thing that I've hoped for, then I
Come
can
on.
expect it to begin to come to pass. So when you're talking about from processing to prospering, we
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of our process, it starts with an idea, it starts with an imagination, it starts with a thought, it
Yeah.
starts with a vision. And so the first thing that you have to do after you have thought about that thing, then you
Mm-hmm.
need to go and you need to write down the vision, make it
Mm-hmm.
plain. And there's a scripture in the Bible that we love to quote, Habakkuk,
Mm-hmm.
and it talks about writing the vision, make it plain so that they can run with. But I believe this is so important,
Yeah.
because many times when we have a thought in our head,
Mm-hmm.
it's just up there in the realm of like the clouds.
Yeah.
It doesn't become reality until we actually write it down. And that's one of the things that in the school that um I'm launching in May. One of the things that I want to do with those individuals who have a vision of
Mm-hmm.
helping to serve others through writing, I want them to overcome what we call writer's block. And I believe what writer's block is that thing that helps to limit us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that is used, I believe, by the enemy to
Mm-hmm.
to block our mind from being able to articulate what
Mm-hmm.
it is that we need to say. So in my school, I want to be able to help those who want to help individuals and serve them through becoming self-published authors. But I don't want to just stop there. I want to be able
Yeah.
to help the students. I will be able to help the students write and formulate a vision for their story and develop a message. I've been able to help several other people in that in yes, Keisha.
No, no, you
Look,
already
look,
know.
Keisha is like my number one um testimonial. And I mean, and that's why we love working with one another, though, because I've been able to see her story, and
Yeah.
we begin to see how her story formulates a message. And now
Yeah.
she's able, I mean, she was able to do it before, but when you get clarity as to what it is, what is the vision that God has for me, then you go from being in the midst of your story to
Yeah.
going on the other side of prospering in your story. And so then, after you have formulated that vision, then you have to make a decision, and you have to plan it out. You have to be strategic. You have to,
Yeah.
it's not just about having a whole bunch of stuff in your head and wanting to do a whole bunch of stuff, because there's a lot of people who like to dream,
Yeah.
but are there many of us that like to really take the action? And that's what we have to do. And so when we think about transforming our mind, we're thinking about going from that thing that we thought of, because if we can think it, then God can exceed it. So we're not going to lose our imagination, but
Yeah.
then we're going to write it down. We're going to write down what it is that I see in my imagination, and then I'm going to make a decision, what I like to call a conscious calculated decision, to have strategic plans so that I can actually go forth in it. And Keisha, that's where we get to the point to where we can walk it out. So can you tell us a little bit about walking it out?
You know, when you think about walking it out, before I hit on that, I want to get back in the processing just a little bit,
Okay.
because the reason why I feel like this is so important, because we don't understand how we can over process. So you can never get to prosperity if you spend so much time over processing,
Mm-hmm.
over analyzing. And when you look at what it is to over process, it's when we're doing and adding more components on, then we're having output steps. So we're adding more, but we're outputting less. We're over processing. And so we just go over it over and over and over. And then sometimes in this place when we over process, it causes a frustration. It can cause depression. It could cause anxiety and stress. And then we get upset with ourselves because we're not achieving. But sometimes we don't understand that over processing can help, not help, over processing can prevent us from prospering properly. And
Okay.
so it is important that we take the time to manage our input with matchable output. Because if not, I'm taking in so much, but it's not going anywhere. And so
Mhm.
I overprocess, I'm overthinking, I'm overanalyzing. And so that part of going from process to prosperity is important to me because I myself have had challenges and dealt with that. You got a thought, you got a plan, and before you talked about actually writing it down,
Mhm.
sometimes you just think, oh, I want to do this. This
Mhm.
is a thought, this is a thought,
Mhm.
this is a thought. They say a goal without a plan is just a wish. So we spend time just wishing it, just processing it, but not getting to the execution.
Yeah.
And so, as you said, I definitely agree. When you write it down, you match and bring an output outlet to
Mhm.
release the input of the dream, the input of the vision, the
Mhm.
input of whatever that idea that you were, speaking of, that we begin with. And so we can be able to start the steps to walk it out. So
Yes.
now we have our plan. So we got our plan, like we already said. We're excited about that. Now, as we're walking it out, one of the things that I want to hit on, and I want to pass it over to you to engage in this, is to be intentional.
Mhm.
You talked about it just a little bit, and in the beginning, you said, you know, it doesn't make sense to have revelation and not apply it. My big thing when it comes to revelation, it's like revelation, application, manifestation. So
Mhm.
without applying it, we will not see any manifestation. So in order to walk it out, you have to be intentional in walking those steps out. So tag, you're it. I'm passing it.
Yes. Now intentional. It is so important when we think about achieving any great success, any success at all. We must understand that we have to be intentional, because we can't just go by our life living it haphazardly. So and what we say we're going to do, then we
Mm-hmm.
actually need to follow through and do it. Because
Mm-hmm.
and especially when it comes to what we envision for our life or our purpose, once we have renewed our mind and we begin to think according to our divine nature, according to what we have been created, then we begin to have a mind where we think with intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
um when we were formed in our mother's womb, there was a plan for our life, and so we already know that there's a purpose by which we were created. So our life was not even designed haphazardly. Like,
Yeah.
there were specific steps that God went through to even create us. He made us in his image, in his likeness. And, it wasn't just by, sporadic processes that happen. You have to be intentional about what you are doing. And when I think about that, honestly, when I have to apply things, according to how I, because that's how we learn. We learn according to the experiences that we've had. We learn according to, what we have gone through. And so I never want to talk from a place of what I've seen others talk about. I want to talk about it from a place with me. And when I was developing my business and I was
Mm-hmm.
going through, and before I could even set forth to even start the initial process of the business, I had to have focus. I had to know what it was that I was going to be in business to do. A lot of times um we want to think about everything. We want to, we want the world. We want to go to the moon. We want to we want to do 1,000 things. But you have to, and I believe we mentioned this last week,
Mm-hmm.
well, the last time that we were live. You have to know what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
You have to know that first thing, because you can make one step and then
Yeah.
you can make another. Once you made the first step, then you have to be focused and intentional about that step before you can make another. And so many times where entrepreneurs or people who are starting businesses, people who are writing books, people who are um, wanting to be good mothers, be good fathers, whatever it is that you're doing, if you have all these different things that you're wanting to do, it's easy for you to get distracted. And when you're distracted, you cannot put forth your best effort.
Yeah.
And in order to prosper, you have to do things. It doesn't have to, I love something that you always say. It doesn't have to be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have to make progress.
Yeah.
And in order to make progress, you have to be intentional about the direction that you're going. And and I'm gonna share this real quick,
Mm-hmm.
because I found that a lot of times we'll go in our head and we'll say, well, we make a plan, and then we start to deviate from that plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're upset because we don't get the results that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? When you set forth a plan, when you've been strategic and you've had this thing in your mind, and you've written down your vision, and you've gotten the light bulb has come on, or
Mm-hmm.
for those of us who believe in the Holy Spirit, we've gotten that divine revelation,
Yep.
and he's given us the direction in which we need to go. And then we start to take a detour. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? When you take a detour and you find yourself on the wrong road, it's not the plan's fault. It's not
Yeah.
even that what you wanted to do wasn't supposed to happen. It was that you were not intentional about the way that you were supposed to go.
Okay.
You allowed distraction to come in. You allowed yourself to lose focus. And that's where the problem starts to come in. So
Yeah.
when we talk about being intentional means I'm making my favorite, conscious, calculated
This is.
decision, meaning
Mm-hmm.
I'm weighing out the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weighing out, there's a logical process that you have to go through. There's spiritual process, there's physical process, because
Mm-hmm.
in business, it encompasses all of that.
Yeah.
Some people say, well, you got to leave this out, you got to leave that out. To a degree,
Mm-hmm.
there has to be harmony in that.
Balance.
Yes, and I like to say harmony because every time it may not. When you think about balance, it's like everything is even, and
Yeah.
sometimes we can become overwhelmed because we're trying to balance everything.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe in this aspect, this needs to be here and this needs to be there. But I have to find the correct harmony so
Yeah.
that it all operates in a succinct order. And
Yeah.
that's about intentionality. Though, I mean, Keisha, we both in music, we both sing, and
I mean,
in a choir you may have 15 sopranos, and
come on.
well, you probably have like three sopranos and
Two
15
sopranos.
altos. Yes, and 15 altos, and you
Mm-hmm.
have maybe two tenors.
Yeah.
But when you have the perfect harmony, they blend so well. It's and that's what we have. When you're intentional,
Mm-hmm.
you're taking every piece of what you have to create this project that is right there in order. It works out just like it needs to. It sounds
Yeah.
so beautiful. So,
I love it. I mean, and the next thing when we talk about walking it out, you actually have to move. So move your body.
yes,
When I,
yes.
I moved over into this phase of my life and this phase of my ministry and my business, and I decided to really say, hey, you're the CEO. You are a leader of leaders. You're a mentor. You're a coach. I
Mm,
had to make a physical move. And for me, it came from the scripture, Genesis 12:1, where God tells Abram, get up and go to a land that I will show you. And so it was a faith thing. And so I got the revelation, I got the information, and I spent a while processing. I did spend a while processing and went from processing to over processing to being overwhelmed, then
mm,
stressed out, and all the other things that come with that. But then I had to remember, if he told me to go, then he's going to give me everything I need to sustain me in that process. And so I begin to transfer my mind for the miracle, like you hit on, transfer my mindset and begin to speak to those things and say, hey, it's time that you line up. God, this was your will, not mine. So we need these things to begin to line up. And I begin to be intentional about my words.
Mhm.
intentional about my actions, but
Mhm.
most of all, from the beginning, like you said, mindset, intentional about my thoughts.
Mhm.
And that is to me, like the recipe on walking it out. Have intention, know what you want and be intentional with your thoughts, be intentional with your words, but also be intentional with your body. You talked about Habakkuk 2:2-3-4 earlier when you said, write the
Mhm.
vision, make it plain. One of the things that um, it kind of saddens me that we don't always put this part in,
Mhm.
because we talk about the vision all the time, especially when
Mhm.
we're coming towards the new year, but we don't really mention the part where it says, and
Mhm.
run with it.
And run with it. Yeah.
It's not just enough to write it. It's not just enough to have the revelation. It's not just enough to have the intention, but you have to actually run with it to
Mhm.
see the manifestation of that dream, that vision, that idea, whatever it may be, for it to come to pass. And
Mhm.
so, my biggest thought on getting from processing to prosperity is being intentional. Like we said, knowing what you want. And then, with all that you've gotten and all that you've accrued when it comes to knowledge, experience, whatever, start putting some action to that. Don't just stay in processing. It's good to think it over, outweigh the costs,
Mhm.
but we actually need to move, because if we don't ever move, we will never see manifestation. You can't see manifestation without moving. It's just
Yeah.
impossible.
Now, Keisha, I because you went to Habakkuk, and that's a scripture that a lot of people, we like to quote.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like to look at the different translations of,
Mm-hmm.
scriptures, so you can see, because it gives you a fuller meaning.
Yeah.
But in the Amplified Bible, it says, so that the one who reads it will run. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times when we write down our vision, we make it, we leave out, because you were talking about being intentional,
Mm-hmm.
and a part of that is making sure that you're clear in
Yeah.
what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
not just so that you can understand it, but others should be able to understand it. So that
As
means that your
well.
audience will be able to understand it. Those people that whatever product or service that you're supposed to have, you're not
Yeah.
the only one that's supposed to understand it. If you're the only one that understands it, then that means that you have
It's
not
just for
been
you.
clear, or you haven't been intentional in the
Mhm,
vision. And maybe the vision is, for other people. You
mhm,
just need to go back and clear that up. And so sometimes we feel like, well, I know this is what God is, telling me to do, but don't nobody want to support me. Don't nobody,
mhm.
nobody is helping me. Well, maybe it's because people are not understanding it, because you have not been clear in writing your vision, because when others read it, they should be able to run with it. And so, and I'm not saying that, because you can go, people
Many
go from
different
one
ways. I
extreme
get
to the
you.
next.
Mhm,
And I'm not saying that you got to have a conference call for people to approve whether or not what you see for yourself is legitimate, or if that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not saying that. But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, once you know that, okay, this is what God has told me to do,
mhm,
then it should be so clear. I should be able to articulate that thing. I should be when you talk about your words,
mhm.
I should be able to speak that thing in a manner so that other people will understand it and they are clear. Because many times in business, the reason why we don't have the audience, the reason why we're not prospering, we're not making the profit from
Yeah.
our business or from the purpose that we have, is because we have not made the vision clear enough.
I'm
And that
glad you
goes back
said
to being
that,
intentional.
because it takes me back to one thing, and another reason why we're doing what we're doing, because sometimes it's okay if you're unclear as long as you seek help. And that's why you have people, such as myself, yourself, coaches,
Mm-hmm.
mentors, counselors, people that have expertise in these areas,
Mm-hmm.
where you can seek advice, where you can seek
Mm-hmm.
counsel and
Mm-hmm.
wisdom, and you can have people that come along and help you get, because sometimes we know what we're trying to say, but we don't always know how to really say it. And that's
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
But in order to get from processing to prosperity, you got to seek counsel and seek assistance if you can't accomplish it on your own. I.e., we talked about this earlier. You trying to write that book, you've been brainstorming for 25 years on that book,
Mhm.
2 months, 3 days, you trying to write it and it's not coming out and you're still in process. Writers, if you need to unblock, go to TMI Corp. Dot what?
Or
ORG
yes, yes,
and be
yes.
on the lookout for the Writers Unblock Academy. This is
Right.
because she's going to give you the tools how to go from basically processing to
Mhm.
prospering and coming with an end result. Again, if you don't know how to, really fine tune and execute that vision, that thought, that idea, this is what we're here for. TMIcorp.org,
Mhm.
KLLC, I mean, KLLCO.com. KLLCco.com. I got to find a better way to say that, y'all. I can't be getting tongue tied on my own business. But that's what we're here for, to
Yeah.
help in that aspect. So it's okay to seek help, to get that vision to be clarified, and to learn the proper steps on how to execute it so that you can see the prosperity from it.
Yes, and Keisha, it's funny that you said that because as I was getting the vision for Writers Unblock Academy, initially I said, it's for aspiring authors, but it's not just for aspiring authors because there may be some people who don't even consider themselves to be an author,
Mm-hmm.
but it's for those people who that you have a story like what I've been through. I can help somebody else. The reason why I became a coach, the reason why I began to develop courses and all of that is because I was in a area, a space in my life where I needed that this and I tried some of the people that's out there, and I'm gonna be honest with you all, okay, because that's all I can be. For
Please.
those of you who don't know, I'm very direct and honest. I've tried coaches who promise to let me take you from $0 to six figures in 45 days or whatever, and
Talk
they give
about
you
it.
all of these promises and they don't have the value behind it, or
Hold
they
on,
don't
hold
have.
on. Do not lose that thought, because let me be clear.
Mhm.
Y'all may hear an upcoming session talk about 6 figures in 30 days. Now, if we say we're going to do it, we mean that
Yes,
behind it.
yes,
So let me
yes.
clear that up. But go ahead. They make
But
all these promises.
well, no. But see, this is a thing because there are plenty of coaches who make promises and they can back it up. But with Writers Unblocked, what I wanted to make sure is that there's actual value
Mm-hmm.
that the students would be able to receive. We're talking about unblocking your mind, unblocking your
Yeah.
identity, unblocking all of these things, unblocking your story. Because
Mm-hmm.
many times we have a story, but we don't understand the message in our story.
That's
Now,
good.
we know that we've gone through it, we know that we've learned some things, but we don't necessarily know how to articulate that. And
Yeah.
so what I want to do is help people to be able to articulate that in what they have. And so it is so important that if you don't have those people like Keisha is excellent. If you are a nonprofit, a church, a business looking for funding and all that kind of stuff, when she talks about six figures in 30 days, I mean, she has actually accomplished that multiple times this year alone. And
Thank
so we both have been able to experience that
you.
exponential growth
Yeah.
because we went from overthinking,
Come
over
on.
processing. I stopped being a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha, have you ever struggled with that too?
Girl, that's why we came into this whole mindset. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Because
Yes.
when we were there, we were overthinking, over processing, and
Yes.
we were missing out on the prosperity. Because you can spend so long
Mm-hmm.
processing a thing till you miss the opportunity to prosper in that thing. If I take forever to keep processing, when my window comes open and it's an opportunity, and they're like, "Come on, you ready? We want to see your presentation. We want to hear your elevator pitch. We want to see what you got." Oh, well, hold on. I'm still thinking it through.
But you
I'm
know
gonna miss
what,
my prosperity. Go ahead.
Keisha? see, some people are where I was, because
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that I necessarily was overthink. Well, I kind of did both of them. I'm be honest. I overthought the process, and
Mm-hmm.
but then I had gotten so conditioned to the position where I was,
Mm.
until I was afraid almost to go to another position. And when I'll explain that,
Mm.
because when I
Mm.
began to, have my business, and me and my husband went from one tax bracket to another, to
Mm-hmm.
the point to where, we were waiting for April the 15th to come by. We was like, because we was looking for that refund, and
Say
that's
that.
great, and
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing wrong with that. But when you get to the point to where it's like, okay, I'm making enough money that now I'm not getting a refund, I'm having to pay back, then April the 15th looks a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But, and sometimes that can be scary to
That's
move
good.
to a place of success, because it's
Mm.
like, because with success, it's not all gravy. And that's what people need to understand, because yeah, I have certain challenges when I'm in that processing stage. But
Mm-hmm.
then when I get to that prospering stage, there's another set of challenges. So I always have to constantly grow. And I have to
Yeah.
make sure that whoever I am aligned with, those people that's in my circle of influence, though my friends, my coaches, my mentors,
Yeah.
and all of them, that they're in a position to where they're growing with me, or they
Mm-hmm.
have either, I'm going up to where they are.
Yeah.
And so it's so important for you. You may be in the process right now, and you
Yeah.
may be afraid to actually go to the prospering,
Mm-hmm.
because
That's
you have
it.
become so comfortable
Yeah.
right there in your comfort zone. But let me tell you, just because you have to pay taxes back,
Mm-hmm.
it might be uncomfortable then, but when you don't have to necessarily look at your bank account
Come
every
on.
time you
That
go to the
part.
store to buy a piece of gum, when you don't have to. And I've been there. I mean, my
Mm.
husband and I have been there where we were making only $1.25. Look, I say $1.25, we were making a little bit more than that, $125 a week.
Girl, you was probably counting what I was making. You'll count my hours real quick. Mhm.
Oh, see, that's a whole nother,
Not to say. Go ahead.
that's another session. Because a lot of us, we're out here devaluing ourselves, because
Mhm.
we are surrounded by an audience who does not value us, because we haven't valued ourselves, or they're so used to you giving stuff away for free that they're expecting a discount, they're expecting the sale price. But honey, what I'm giving you is not I mean, do you see, I don't know, but is Louis Vuitton, or do they have sales? I mean, are they discounting? Are you gonna go to a discount rack to get some of their best things?
Girl, can I help it? Can it help me invest? Will it help me build my future? Help me build my business, not my wardrobe.
Thank you. Look, we're gonna talk about,
Forward.
look, when we get to our clear choice talking about it today, that's what I'm telling you. Sometimes we so caught up in
Mhm.
looking like a success. Look, I'm gonna have to pull up my post that I posted
Yeah,
the other
talk about it.
the other day. And look, Keisha, while I'm pulling up that post, you can go ahead and be talking about something else. But
No,
we
you're
talking about,
fine. But I just like, instead of like we process, and I feel like getting that, like you hit on so many things. Fear is a part of that, and then processing wanting to be like everybody else. Oh, they got it. They got it. I see this. I got that. I need to have it. But let's invest and put in things, put into things, invest in systems, invest in products, services, coaches that will make a long-term benefit, for us, that will be, beneficial for us in our lives. Don't, I mean, okay, you want to buy me something, buy me something. Okay. I done already said Boaz. Okay.
all right now,
or,
Charles.
or like you said, just in case his name, well, we don't know what his name is. But
Right.
nevertheless, if you want to do that, do that. But I want something that will not just be here. I want something to set up. I want an inheritance. KLLC code is Kingdom Life and Legacy Company. That I don't want just what's here. I want a
Yeah.
legacy.
Yeah.
I want to build something now so that I can have something later. And so when we said that wardrobe thing, that popped out to me. But I'll let you
Yes.
finish up so we can get to clear choice. I'm excited about
Yes,
it.
yes. Well, the post that I was talking about, it says you can't look like money and act like a food stamp. But this is a
A
thing.
moment of silence for the quote.
Yes.
Y'all heard it on here
Y-
on
y-
CCC,
Look,
Coffee, Clarity, and Conversations. You can't
look.
what?
You can't look like money and act like a food stamp. Look, now that's a repost. Now I didn't come up with that, but I had to repost it because so many times we're trying to look like money, but our mentality
Mm,
and see when they talk about act, because
mm-hmm,
that's your train of thought. Your behavior
mm-hmm.
is shaped from your mindset. So
Yeah,
if your mind is on food stamp level, but yet you're trying to look like you're a success and all that kind of stuff, let's be honest. Okay, Keisha, you were talking about investing, but most of all, it's not necessarily investing in a coach, it's not
mm-hmm.
investing in a program, it's investing in yourself.
Yep, yourself.
You have to know that you're valuable
Worth it.
enough to go from processing, because see, when you invest in yourself to get more knowledge, it helps cut that processing time, that thing that you're trying to think about and do on your own. It's helping to cut that time down.
Yeah. And help you to
So
see another perspective that you may not see.
yes, yes. So invest in yourself. Keisha, the first time I paid $2,000 for a coach, a
Talk about
session,
it.
I was like, am I really doing this? Am I really doing this? And a lot of people, some people, family members, friends, and all of that, who see the things that I'm doing, and I don't post a lot of everything that I'm doing, because I'm still building. I'm building, and it's not building it for a show. I want to help people. So I'm able to help more people now that I have been able to invest in myself. But the first time that I paid that, when I
Talk
tell
about
you,
it.
I was almost sick. And I was like, Lord, I need to see a return on it. And I began to not only see a return in my business, but I began to have more knowledge. I had, it was like I had more wisdom,
Mm.
because some stuff, let's be honest, you know, Tay Tay over there, who is your best friend, some stuff she cannot tell you
Or
about
help.
or help you. Now, she's good for encouraging you. But some things you need to, if I'm expecting to be a multimillionaire, I need to begin to be in the room with the
On
multimillionaires.
in the
I need to
room.
begin to, that quote that everyone says, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You're the average of those people that you hang around. So if you're trying to be a billionaire and you're sitting around and you're just on the corner, then you're not you're not putting yourself in the environment that's
Talk about it.
conducive for your growth. So
Yeah.
that's why sometimes we're in the process and we're not prospering because we're in the wrong environment. We
Come
need to
on.
change our environment.
Girl, okay, look. You done went past
I'm
clarity
sorry. I'm sorry.
and conversation. You on to another episode.
I'm sorry.
You
let me
on it.
let me sip my coffee. I'm sorry.
You you're on it. Like, I mean, that's a whole nother. So there may be a part two to this processing and prosperity, because there were so many aspects, and I think I want to hit on the fear one next time. But
Mhm. Mhm.
at don't even
I just have to be quiet because I get to talking about this, and then I started thinking, look, you know how the old ladies or old mothers used to say, when I think about the goodness of Jesus
you
and
just
all he's done
like
for me.
when you really think about, because sometimes that word, that knowledge, that clarity, like
Mhm.
you got today, can unlock some things, and you can go
Mhm.
from being in process to walking your way into prosperity. And so that's what it's about. We want
Mhm.
to open this conversation and this dialogue unlock some stuff, unblock some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
allow you to see it in a different mindset, and see, something that you didn't see before.
Yeah.
Okay, I can try that, or okay, I hear this, or you know, maybe there's another way out of this. And so we hope something that we said, has really touched you guys today. We are so excited. Get your questions ready because we're gonna go to a quick Q&A. But we're getting ready to get to our clear choice. Are you guys excited about our clear choice?
Ooh, I am.
I am. And so if you have a clear choice, that clear choice is where we take the time to shout out and spotlight one of the product or service that we feel it's just amazing that they've either sent it in to us and we have it and we've done our review and we want to share it with you guys. You will find it, when you look at our YouTube page, it'll be in our episodes, and in the Facebook group, you'll see posts and additional information, like those of you guys who caught us live last time that we had our episode. We made sure to tag it even while we were in the show so that you could connect and buy immediately, you guys. And don't forget to tell them CCC referred you. Keisha and Tara referred you.
Yes.
So I get to go first this week. And my clear choice is Reimagine. Reimagine. Hopefully you guys can see my earrings, my
Yes.
earpiece, headphones, earbuds coming out, whatever you call
Those
them.
are beautiful.
Love it. Love Unique. And she's actually, her name is Renita Williams. My sister, she hand makes these, hand makes them with the clay and everything. And they're just so,
Awesome.
you have to see. And so she has so many. She's on Instagram at Reimagine, REE, Imagine 3. Facebook, we are going to show you some of her information right here. So you see it. All right.
Okay.
Don't forget to tell her that we sent you. Reimagine is my clear choice for this week. Tara, what about yours?
And my clear choice is Orange Velvet Treasure Box. And some of you may notice this is jewelry on a budget. Andret Whitaker. She is my earrings, my necklace, and my bracelet. It all came from her. I'm gonna put her information in the comment section, and so I am so excited because she has started her business, and we know that there's lots of paparazzi jewelry ladies out there, and who are selling and doing, but I'm telling you, I love her because she is just, I mean, you get jewelry and personality and just all the love, just I just love her. So I'm gonna put her information in the comment section. If you want to sell, if you want to get you some jewelry, y'all go to her, support her. She's new in the business, and so I am so excited for her that she stepped out. She went from processing to prospering, because
Yes,
overthinking, sometimes stepping out to start a new business can be so hard. Even if it's a business that is, where they have the tiers, where it's already started and you are just joining in on a team, but it can be intimidating.
yeah.
And so she's somebody who went from processing to prospering, and so
Well,
y'all support her.
congratulations.
And I put her information right there in the comment section, so y'all can just click on her and join her group, and so you can
Yes.
get more
Join
information.
them, follow them, like them.
Yes,
Make
yes,
sure and tell them that we sent you guys. So,
definitely.
at this time, as you guys can see, we put up our little slide that shows the information. If you would like to send us one of your products to review, to shout out, to show on our episodes, please feel free to send it to our PO boxes. If you're anywhere, let's see, that would be east and west. If you're anywhere west of Texas, on the south, east coast, definitely send it to the P.O. box in the southern region. If you are east, is that right? Did I say it right? It's east. No, if you east, send it on in the south. If you're west, send it to the northwest, Pacific Northwest, the West Coast, California PO box, and we'll be sure to shout you out, to share and to make sure that we spread the information on your great product or service. And so thank you guys for tuning into our clear choice. At this time, hey, one of the first questions that came in um, said, when, how do we sign up for Writers on Block?
Oh, well, awesome. I am actually, you can go to my website, www .tmicorp.org. And right now, because we're in the process of launching, you can be put on a waiting list. And so you can either put, if you sign up to be on our mailing list, then you will be able to get all of the information regarding our website and when we begin to open the enrollment. And so I'm excited about all of that. Y'all definitely follow me on Facebook, the Manifold Innovations Corporation. Right now, that's where we are. And so y'all follow me and get on the mailing list. I even have a freebie that I'm gonna put in the chat so that y'all, if y'all want to, those of you who want to learn how to write, it's called Writing Tips Made Easy. It's an ebook, and you can get that freebie and you can join our mailing list and you'll stay up to date to know everything about Writers Unblocked Academy. It's gonna be awesome.
Woo-hoo, we're excited about it. You guys listen to all those great things. Make sure you take the time to check it out. All right. You guys, we can only do one more, so please look past us. All right. How can we sign up for coaching? Okay, I'll start with this one.
Yes.
So, yes, if you guys are looking for coaching services, we offer a tag team coaching. You get the best of both worlds at one time. You get TMI Corp and KLLC Co. Together. So, if you want to do that, you go to our website, and that's CCCwithKandT.org. I got it right.
Yes, yes.
CCCwithKandT.org. And you can sign up for coaching there. Also, if you're interested, can I be an instrument? Sing it, India. Okay, sorry. We're musical, so you see how she just moved with me.
Just
I
went
heard
right
that
with her.
India Irie song. Gotta blame my friend for always popping up songs when we're talking. Nevertheless, you can go to our individual websites at tmicorp.org. Again, that's tmicorp.org or KLLCO.com.
Yes.
Again, KLLCO.com. That's all our questions that we can take today, Tira.
Okay, Keisha, listen, before we go, I want, because we've talked about the Writers Unblocked Academy. I can't even say my name right. Writers Unblocked Academy, but you have a new signature program.
Yeah, so this is, even when you try to go past, some people try to go, no, no, no. If you're looking to start your business in 90 days or less, we have a program that's coming up, and I'm going to share more about it. I'm not going all the way into it yes yet, but what I will
Yeah.
do is I will make an exclusive for my CCC family. So this is how to get your business going, started, running, and being successful in 90 days or less. And like Tara said, that's what I do. I love to do it.
Mhm.
Business, ministry, nonprofit, you name it.
Mhm.
We both work in those areas, are very passionate about it. And I'm also going to do a special segment and workshop upcoming that I'll talk to you guys more about, on how to secure funding, how to get grants, how to get access to the money that is out there that we do not know about. And so be on the lookout. She said that, and I could say I have been fortunate, as we're counting up the tolls, to see some of my clients that have just in the first quarter done over six figures. And so that
Yes.
is an
Yes.
amazing thing. And so it is possible, it is achievable. All things are possible to them that believe. Look out for it to start your business in 90 days or less. Go to KLLCCO.com, KLLCCO.com for more information, and we will send it out to you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Keisha. I could not let us end without them knowing about those things. We are excited to be able to do all of that, and
Yeah,
we want to help other people do it. It's not just about us and promoting our businesses, it's about us promoting our businesses because we are really genuinely
yeah,
wanting to help you get to the place to where you are, from processing to prospering.
prospering.
And that's the honest to God truth. And so
Yeah.
we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. Y'all be sure to come back, invite someone else to join in our discussion next week. If you have any questions, we will put a post up. It will have questions. Y'all post your questions there. Keisha and I go in the group from time to
Yeah.
time and we'll answer those questions right there in the group. This is a community, so we want
Yeah.
you to be engaged in the community. So make sure you're joining all of our things. And Keisha, you can go ahead and give them more information.
I didn't say it when we started, but I'm going to get in the habit of saying it again. Look, when we tune in and we're going live, share, 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 share. We
Yes,
live, share. Tell
yes.
people we live, share, tag them in, get them to share. So if you haven't already, we appreciate you, for taking the time to join us for Coffee, Clarity, and Conversations. Again, don't forget,
Mm-hmm.
like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on your notifications where the bell is at so you can join the CCC community. All
Mm-hmm.
right. We want you to be a part of the community. And if you do, we'll make sure to shout you out during our next show.
Yes. All right. So listen, y'all, and don't forget to check out our website. Our website is www.CCCwithKandT.org so that you can find out more information about our services. And as Keisha said before, part of our platform is to offer our tag team coaching where you get the best of both worlds. So again, you can visit our website, www.CCCwithKandT.org, to book your discovery call today. Join us for our next conversations with coffee and tea. And we will be ready to bring the what, Keisha?
Clarity.
Clarity.
See you
All
guys next
right.
time.
Bye bye.
Bye.